You are listening to Geek Vice, the official sponsor of the 1932 Summer Olympics, with your host, Morph, the man who thinks Pornstache is a comic book superhero.
We almost need like some theme music to go in there
I
too.
know.
You have to edit that
You,
in.
you need to like hum something in the background.
Do, 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 do. Welcome everybody to Geek Vice, episode 51, a podcast by a few geeks just trying to be heard in a world now flooded with geeks. Yay. As you heard before, I'm Morph, your bartender for the zombie apocalypse. The other man you heard is Kip, a man boldly going from the couch to the kitchen and back again. How you doing tonight, Mr. Kip?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. It's a little rainy here. Apparently, Mother Nature forgot to turn off the faucet.
Yeah, Mother Nature did not want Game 3 of the ALCS to happen tonight.
Yeah. Oh, man. And there for a while there, around lunchtime today, I thought, oh, you know what? It looks like it might just clear off and we might be able to actually be outside. No, it decided to keep coming down. I think my sump pump's been running nonstop since I got home.
Yeah, it's nuts. I did see a place where our rain gutters are leaking, so that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, this just goes to show where all the drainage towards my house is, so I get to see all that, like right in front of my back door, which you can kind of see in the picture here, right there. Yeah, that's all like got about an inch and a half of water up against my foundation. Exactly where I want it to be.
That's awesome. That's exactly how they planned it.
You know, it's great when they don't compact the ground around the foundation, and so it settles. And now everything runs back towards my house. Go figure.
Woohoo!
Yeah, pains in the ass. But hey, you drinking anything good tonight?
I am sticking with the standby of water.
See, that's a shame.
Once again, I had a bowl of cereal for dinner, so I figured whiskey would not go well with that.
You know what? That's what we should probably go. What did you eat before the podcast? You will be what did you eat? I will be what am I drinking? How about that? That's good.
That works for me.
Yeah, my drink of choice tonight is a Shiner Premium Beer. It's, Shiner is the same people. Most of people know it as Shiner Bock. Shiner is actually the brand or the brewery. Bock is the type of beer. This is just a premium beer. It's more like a lager. It's nothing special, but it's pretty good. I like it. It's much better than a Bud Light, I'll tell you that.
Well, there isn't much that isn't.
That is true. That is true. So, Kip, I guess it's time to start our roundtable reviews. What do you think?
Yeah, we might as well. We're all here and everything.
What do you got for us today?
Well, a couple of months ago, I was in the mood for something dark and mysterious, TV or movie-wise. So I got on Netflix and was going through, and I came across this TV show called The Returned, which is French. There was only one season, 8 episodes, so I thought, what the heck, I'll give it a try.
So was it in French?
It was. I had to read the subtitles.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it reminded me of the IT crowd. It's like I can't read things when I'm trying to see, but it worked. So I watched the first episode. It's like, wow, this is really good. I'll have to talk the wife into watching it, so I didn't get too far in. So last weekend, I finally talked her into watching The Returned. And we knocked out the last episode yesterday? Yeah, it must have been yesterday. So we made it through, and basically the premise is this small town in France had all these people come back from the dead. They're not zombies, and it's not like they all died on the same day. I mean, one person died like 35 years prior, another one 10 years prior. they don't know why. They didn't even know they were dead when they came back. And so you're watching this show. It's a melancholy mood the whole time. They don't throw in any comic relief or anything in there. It's just brooding the whole time. But it's so well.
So these people that died, like they're dead for a long period of time, or like it's not like they were dead for a day and then came back. Are these like people that like had to climb out of being buried?
No, it kind of alludes to that they woke up in the mountains.
Oh,
and they're
okay.
like, what the hell's going on here? And case in point, the show starts off with this little redheaded girl. She's 15. She's on a bus. It looks like they're on a school trip. And then her bus plunges off the dam.
Okay.
And then the next scene is, or I don't remember if it's the next scene or not, but when she comes back, she's basically, you can kind of tell she's a little freaked out. She's like backtracking across the same road and everything to get back home. And she gets home, and her mom is, of course, just standing there staring at her like, is this a ghost or whatever? And the girl's like apologizing, saying she just woke up in the mountains. She doesn't know what happened. She's sorry she, didn't call or anything like that. And to her, it's the same day. Come to find out, she has a twin sister who is now like, I don't know, 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you're thinking like 5 years have gone by.
Yeah.
And then of course there's the big freak out when they see each other, but it's just so well done. But I wish somebody else would watch this show so they could send me an email or something and tell me what the hell do you think the show was about. Because when we got to the last episode, it's like, okay, I've got 100 guesses what could be going on. I'm looking forward to the closure. And when the episode ended, I had more questions than I did before it started.
Oh, geez.
And it's not like it was one of those things where he's like, God, I wasted all that time. It's nothing like that. It was more like, I just wanted these questions answered. They left it open for more episodes, which hopefully one day they'll get to. But every theory about people coming back from the dead you can think of, one of the characters had it. Like coming back to finish something, or coming back to right a wrong, or something along those lines, or coming back for true love, or something like that. You can't apply them across the board to everybody, but it seems like one of them has at least one of those things going on.
Huh.
So I don't know why they came back. So somebody watch this show, please, and tell me what you think. Because I have theories, but every one of them has a hole in it. So get on Netflix, watch The Returned. Don't binge watch it, because it's dark and dreary, and you don't turn it off going, man, I feel so much better. No. And since it's close to Halloween, it's the perfect time to watch a show like that and tell me what you think is going on. I would love to know what somebody else thinks.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll...
you should watch it and let me know.
I'll put that on my list, but it's going to be a while for me to be able to get back onto Netflix. Because apparently, this just happened today, right before this podcast, I got 5 emails from Netflix within about 20 minutes. One of them saying they changed my password as I requested. One of them said they changed my email address as requested. And the other one said they've just upped my my account from the standard like $7.99 or whatever to $11.99, so you could have 4 screens going or something like this. I don't even know what that is. I'm like, wait a second here, this is not right. So luckily that last email gave me a phone number to call. So I called them up, and sure enough, somebody hacked into my Netflix account. So now I'm a little worried because my Netflix account had my, that's tied to my credit card. So, but I don't think they give anything. Like, I think they only give like the last four numbers of the credit card or something like that. But it just means I'm gonna need to watch that a little closer. I have gotten my email or the email assigned to my Netflix account changed back to my email address instead of somebody else's. So, and I'm supposed to be getting an email from them on how I can reset, so that I can reset my password. He also disabled all devices that were tied to that Netflix account. So once I get a new password, I'll have to go back through all my devices, but that should lock out whoever it was that got on. But I thought that was kind of weird. I've had my email hacked, I've had my Facebook hacked, but I've never actually had my Netflix account hacked.
Well, since you just changed your password, it sounds like maybe they were somehow keylogging or something like this.
I hadn't changed it in a while, so somehow they just figured it out. But I'm gonna have to change it now. Now that I can actually reset my password now. It's like it's just weird. I don't know why someone would go after my Netflix account. I mean, that just seems weird to me. So you're going to go watch TV shows on my account? I mean, why Netflix? I don't know. It was weird.
That is weird.
So we've gone from Netflix. We'll move on to my random topic before we get into the main topic, which is actually something we can discuss. But for anyone around the Kansas City area there, and I know a few other cities do this. I know Denver's got one. Kip, have you ever been to the Renaissance Festival?
I have. I didn't go this year, but I try to go every year. I actually like being there.
Yeah, it's really kind of cool. I like looking at the shops and the different stuff that they make. You know, it's for people who don't know, it's they do this whole setup and make it like you're walking into medieval times. So there's a lot of booths that sell stuff like medieval wares. You can buy swords and shields and stuff that, for the most part, I don't know why anyone would actually want to would buy these, other than I would love to own some of them. But spending $1,300 for a sword seems a little overkill to me. I can't quite justify that one to the wife.
Yeah, if you could, you'd be everybody's hero.
Yeah, exactly. But the one thing I really do enjoy going to the Renaissance Festival is watching all the other people out there. Much like going to a comic book convention, you get to see some people dressed up in some outfits that they probably shouldn't be wearing, but then you get to see some people that have some really cool costumes. Anyone who works there is all dressed up, and they all are acting as if they are in medieval times, but ran across a guy who was dressed as Sephiroth from one of the Final Fantasy games. He's a bad guy, which was a really well done costume. And then the big one that I saw a couple of was Assassin's Creed. Saw the Ezio from Assassin's Creed. I believe it's 2. Yes, Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. Those 3 games, same character. But it was really well done. It was a full white outfit, had the bracer, didn't have a knife that popped out of it, but wore the bracer, same as the video game. It was really well done. It kind of brought up a point in that, looking at him walking around in this area, he stuck out like a sore thumb. I really have no idea why people didn't notice Ezio in the game when you're walking around. I mean, he's this guy in this big white robe hood, and he's the only one wearing something like that. Man, you could see him from miles away at the Renaissance Festival. It was pretty funny.
Well, nothing says Renaissance Festival like a video game character.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point.
Well, a few years ago when I went out there was a guy dressed as Captain America, which again, goes right along with the theme.
Yeah, that's just perfect for it. The this time we went with our neighbors who had never been before. So of course, anytime you go to the Renaissance Festival, the one thing you've got to do if you've never been there before is go watch them joust. It is all scripted. They are acting. It is pretty obvious that they're acting all the years that I've been. But it seems like each year that I go, it becomes more and more obvious that they're acting. I felt like they at least knocked people off the horses before when I would go. But this year, it was bad enough. We had 4 kids there with us. We had my 2-year-old, my 5-year-old, my neighbor's 7-year-old, and a 10-year-old. So 4 kids. My 5-year-old, Reese, looked at me and said, "Wow, this is really cool." The 7-year-old turned around and looked at me and goes, "That is so fake. That is so fake." So I'm not sure what they're going for, but if you can't convince a 7-year-old that this is a real deal, that's pretty bad. I mean, these people were ducking out of. They would joust, and then they would be on the ground to do hand-to-hand combat, with a mace and an axe and swords and shields and the whole 9 yards. And well, they'd go and do this, and the guy's ducking out of the way before the guy's picked up his sword to swing at him. I mean, it's that bad of choreography. It's like, guys, you should practice this a few more times and make it at least kind of work. I mean, it was pretty bad, and it kind of bums me out because I remember as a kid going to that and just being like, "Wow, this is really cool," and now it just seems to have lost its luster, and it really kind of bugs me.
That's too bad. I mean, I know those people that, everybody that does that, is a wannabe actor type of a deal. And I know a lot of them put a lot of work into it. A friend of mine that does the dancing, and they practice a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised the jousting was so poorly done.
Yeah, and the jousting is just so cool, and I don't know, maybe some of it's lost its shine to me since there was you remember that there was a reality TV show, I think it was on the History Channel, where they took like 2 groups of 5 or 6 people, and then who had background in either medieval combat or horse riders, and actually taught them how to joust, and then they would go up against each other and basically have a tournament to see who would move on and who would get kicked off the show, and it was all to try to become like this really good jouster. And I don't know why you would want to do that. I guess maybe to go to Renaissance festivals, but I mean, those were legitimate. You could tell when these people got hit, they were getting hit hard, and they were trying to knock the other person off. And so maybe after seeing what it really is like to joust, and then going and seeing these people pretend to do it, maybe that's what hurts it. I don't know, but I think it's kind of cool, and I think anyone should check it out. If you're in the Kansas City area, unfortunately, I think today was the last day to go until next fall, but it always is. It's always in the fall around this time of year.
And it's a good time. You get to eat a turkey leg, and you get to go do some archery, and
yeah,
it's a good time.
They have a lot of good beers there now too. Like they had some beers that I haven't been able to find in the store because we went looking for them afterwards. Some Irish ales and some kind of I don't know if they're British imports or if it was just stuff that they only sell in kegs maybe, but there were actually some really good beers there. I was really impressed by that.
Nice. So you can go watch fake jousting and drink a good beer.
Yeah, I tend to gauge my places on if I can get a good beer there or not. I don't know what that says about me, but
that's why he dropped out of junior high. Couldn't get good beer there.
Exactly. So We'll 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 enter into our main topic. There was for those people who don't know, New York Comic Con went on this last weekend, and there was a couple big announcements from Marvel Studios. But to kind of top this, to start this off, Marvel is owned by Disney, and there is an interesting article that was put out on Yahoo, believe it or not, um, that was kind of, I don't know, a little infographic of some of the big movies that are hitting the theaters between now and 2016. And it's interesting. These are all movies that are going to be coming out from quote unquote Disney. Um, we've got movies like Big Hero 6, Cinderella, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Tomorrowland, Inside Out, Jungle Book, The Good Dinosaur, Star Wars, a few untitled things, one from Walt Disney, one from Marvel, Captain America 3, Alice in Wonderland 2, Finding Dora, or Dory, which is apparently a sequel to Finding Nemo. I don't know how that could work out, but whatever. Um, but all of these, the interesting thing that I find about this is that a lot of these movies are not actually Disney movies. These are movies from production houses that Disney has purchased. Disney purchased Pixar back in 2006. They've purchased Marvel in 2009, and they just purchased Lucasfilms 2 years ago. And so you have movies like Finding Dory. You have the what is this? One, two, three, four movies coming out of the Marvel production house. You've got Star Wars in there. You know, there's a lot. It almost makes it sound like Disney has, maybe put their own stuff aside a little bit, hasn't put as much effort into it, and they're letting these other companies just kind of take them for a ride. Maybe they're riding on their coattails. What do you
Yeah.
think about that?
Well, you know what I'd like to see is the same graphic with other studios' tentpole films and see if it's just everybody else has this or is it just Disney is just taking over the map. I mean, of course, I'm gonna be first in line to see all the Marvel stuff, and
Oh,
Star Wars Episode 7. I mean, somebody's gonna get rich off of those things because I'm gonna just be like, hey, take my money, please.
yeah. Well, and it's interesting because you've got. I mean, you're looking at trying to do the rough math here. You're looking at Disney has spent about what are we looking at? $15.4 billion on these three companies, and they're the ones kind of leading the charge. I mean, it almost seems like it's a good investment for them that they knew what they were doing when they spent this kind of money, because these things are doing really well, and um, I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see what they do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what does it say here? Alice in Wonderland, the first Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp, worldwide made $1 billion.
Yeah.
So that's just one of their movies that almost made all their money back. It's crazy the amount of money that these films are raking in, and a lot of it came from me. But when I say a lot of it, I mean like $20. But that's a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, well, you think there's just a lot of views out there.
They are. We want entertainment, damn it.
Well, and you have to admit there are a few of these that are coming out of Disney proper. Cinderella, Jungle Book, Alice in Wonderland 2. Um, those are Disney movies. But when you look at those compared to um, the other movies out there, like Star Wars and the Marvel movies, I mean, those are just almost like a chump change. I don't know. It's really kind of crazy, and I think that Disney has just kind of shown. What I'm curious about is Disney's done this with the purchasing of these companies and the way they've kind of structured them and let them run. It's curious to see when this or if this has any influence on Warner Brothers and how they handle some of their properties. They have, Warner Brothers owns DC Comics, which has um, never really lived up to, I don't know, the movie hype or the movie that hasn't made as much money as the Marvel Studios have.
No, their big one has been the Batman with Christian Bale. The Man of Steel was okay. I don't know why things like the Avengers and Iron Man work so much better than so far any of the DC franchises have, but I just hope they keep pumping them out. Eventually, I'll see them all, and then I'll serve judgment then. But I think they got on a good foot with Man of Steel. Yeah, hopefully the second movie will be an improvement. I think part of the problem was for some reason at the beginning of this year, all the superheroes were getting their asses kicked, and I don't go see a movie about superheroes to watch them get their asses kicked. It's supposed to be the other way around, and I think that's what hurt Man of Steel for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should fault Warner Brothers Studios for that, or if they just felt like that was, because Iron Man 3 kind of did that too, and that's a Marvel deal. But
right.
It to me it kind of hurt the whole idea of the Superman deal, because he was really, he's the Man of Steel, but he's getting his butt handed to him by these other guys from his planet, and it's like, no, it's Superman. He's supposed to be doing his thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. For some reason, Marvel has done that in a way, but they've also made the films such that you really want to see them. I mean, Captain America 2, we bought the DVD. My wife likes to watch it every now and again. Avengers, there for a while, I think she was watching certain scenes every freaking day. So they're doing something right that Warner Brothers has not been able to cash in on.
Well, and they've definitely done something right with Guardians of the Galaxy, which I have still not seen in the theaters. Don't yell at me. I haven't seen the movie yet. But one of the announcements that was made coming out of New York Comic Con was that Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be coming to TV. They're going to do an animated, basically animated TV series for Guardians of the Galaxy. There's not a whole lot on this other than it's coming out. There has been some test footage out there. Which, Kip, did you get the chance to watch that?
I did watch that. The only comment I have is they didn't use Chris Pratt's voice.
Well, but this is just test footage, so this isn't. I mean, they could still get Chris Pratt. They could get Bradley Cooper. They could get all the people back if they have the money to do it, or get people that can sound like them. Which companies, TV shows have done that before, especially in the animation side. To do this is more just kind of a proof of concept. This is just like, hey, this is what it's going to kind of look like. So what do you think about the look of it?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. It had the same feel as the Guardians of the Galaxy live action movie. You know, even though it's animated, it still had that gritty, otherworldly feel to it that I really enjoyed. So I'm pumped to see it. Like I said, my only thing I can really say about it is they didn't use Chris Pratt's voice. But like you said, that may just be temporary.
Yeah, this could have been done long, this animation, I don't know, maybe it's done. It could have been done while Chris Pratt was busy doing other stuff and wasn't able to. Hell, this could have been done before the movie came out, and they just had this. Now they were just like, oh, it was so big in the theater that hey, we can, we have this chance, let's do it and move forward with it. So the only information we know is that this is going to be on Disney XD, which is Disney's teenager channel. It's got things like Ultimate Spider-Man and Marvel's Avengers Assemble, and I think they've also acquired Star Wars Rebels, which is an animated Star Wars TV show. So yeah, it's also interesting because this is much like the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. This is another way for Marvel to kind of cross-pollinate their movie universe with the TV, and I don't know. I think it looks kind of cool. I think it looks like fun, and they'll be able to do a lot more special effects in an animated TV show than they could in a live action, like Marvel.
That is very true. That's very true. And I posted a link to it on our Facebook page if somebody wants to go and take a look.
Awesome. Go check out Geek Vice on Facebook and seize the footage.
Seize the day.
We do have it. It does say that Guardians of the Galaxy is set to air on Disney XD in 2015. So that could be in 3 months. That could be in 15 months. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm pumped. What's funny is in my head, I've got the soundtrack from the movie going on. All the songs from the 70s and everything. So hopefully this animated series has the same, the same style of music and everything, because it's just fun and it sticks in your head. And I'm just looking forward to this. It's going to be great.
I think it'll be good. I definitely think it'll be good. Well, so we go from one Marvel movie TV show to a wasn't a Marvel movie when it came out and did so bad Marvel almost was afraid to put it on the big screen again, and so it's going straight to Netflix, and that is the first look at Daredevil, the Netflix series. This I'm just gonna say this looks really, really cool.
It does. I don't know. I mean, I thought the Ben Affleck version of Daredevil just about killed it. I'm not going to blame Ben Affleck for it. That was just a bad movie. So just seeing the stills of this one is giving me new hope.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Now we haven't. Kip and I weren't at New York Comic Con, so neither one of us have actually been able to see the footage that they released there, because Marvel is really quick. When they don't want something up on the internet, they can squash it pretty quick. They can get that stuff pulled off YouTube faster than I can change my underwear. So it's I haven't been able to find it. Every time I try to get a hold of it, it says that the video is no longer available. So all we've seen is the stills, but getting to see the costume, first of all, you get to see Charlie Cox, who's going to play as Daredevil. He's not in these stills. He's not in the typical red costume that you normally see. He's in a kind of almost like a ninja assassin type outfit.
Yeah, it looks like it's black.
Yeah, all black, which is Very similar to the comic book series called Daredevil Man Without Fear by Frank Miller, drawn by John Romita Jr. Really good. Romita Jr. He's a very good artist, and everyone knows Frank Miller from his Sin City stuff, and he's done a whole bunch of other stuff. Um, Sin City, I say that one is probably his most popular just because of the movies that were made, and it was a big deal that he was involved with those.
Yeah, there's a kind of a poster of it on the IGN site, and it's very film noir
Yeah.
looking, Sin City looking kind of a poster. So I think it's going to have those kind of sensibilities.
Yeah, and the write up that's on IGN, which I believe I posted on the Facebook page as well. That article and that write up is actually really good, and they kind of talk a little bit more about what you're gonna see. They did, kind of point out some other characters that they have there. It's but I'm super stoked for this thing to come out, and it sounds like this is another 2015 release on Netflix. Um,
Hopefully you have your password figured out by then.
Yeah, I hope so. Because this is going to be one of those that I'm just going to sit down and I will find a way to binge watch this as much as possible, because this just looks really good from the articles that I've read from people who were there and saw this test footage. This is the down and dirty, gritty look the Daredevil should be. I'm just excited to see what it comes up with. I'm excited to see the portrayals that they have. I've heard that the guy who plays Fisk is just incredible. And they showed him some scenes with him in it, and
yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio is always good, and that's who it is who plays Fisk.
That's right. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm super stoked for this.
Me too. I'm really hoping they can get it back on track to where people don't think of Ben Affleck when they think of Daredevil.
Well, and I also hope that, on a bigger scale, I hope that this does just create so much traffic for Netflix that some of the other TV shows do this. We've had big successes like House of Cards. That was huge success on Netflix.
One of my favorites.
Orange is the New Black came out, was very, very popular on there, and that was all on Netflix. If Daredevil can kind of copy this stuff and make it that big, and Marvel can kind of bring this attention to this way of releasing content, I might actually be able to get rid of my cable.
That would be nice.
Just be able to watch everything on Netflix. I'd be good with that. Or even, I mean, heck, if Marvel does really good with this, who's to say Disney doesn't come out with their own, hey, you can come see our website, pay us $5 a month, and you get all these videos for free. So,
that's right, Mouse Flicks.
Yeah, there you go.
So now they owe me. If you use it, you owe me.
Copyright. Kip Killigan. All right, so we've got things like Disney buying up properties to gang bust movie theaters. You've got Daredevil coming out. You've got Guardians of the Galaxy coming to TV. You've got all kinds of this big stuff coming on.
That's right. I don't want anybody to tell me they're bored, because there's plenty of shit to watch.
Oh, yeah. And it looks like 2015 is going to be a pretty big year with all these movies that are coming out, these TV shows coming out.
I do have one question, though. With Daredevil being on Netflix, do you think it'll be rated R?
I have a feeling it'll be not rated at all. Because I don't think, with it being on Netflix, I don't think it has to be rated. Because I don't think House of Cards had a rating.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that. I wonder if that was.
And I know Orange is the New Black didn't have a rating.
I guess if it never hits the theater, they don't have to worry about it. Is that the
It
case?
Yeah, it doesn't meet the same requirements. They can put the um, just put the criteria out there that it's not rated and view at your own risk. Some scenes might be unsuitable for viewers or something like that, or whatever it is that I can't remember what that. Um,
Oh man.
what's that?
I'm
You
trying
know
to
what I'm
think of
talking
it's
about, though,
called.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Film
like you hear it all the
rating.
time. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
but
well. Mine drew a
hey,
blank.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I think that looks like a good place to wrap it up. What do you think?
Sounds good to me. We covered a lot of good stuff. Now I gotta go set my DVR for 2015.
Yeah. If only we could really do that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe by
I
then
do.
Google Fiber will make it.
Yeah. I do have one question for you before we end this off. How many episodes of Gotham have you seen?
I haven't seen yesterday's.
So you've seen the first three?
Is it 3 or 2?
Well, today it came out today, so it would have been last week's and today's are 3 and 4.
Okay, so I've seen 3.
Okay, I watched the first two last night. Um, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not as excited about it as I am some of the other shows that I'm watching, but I'm gonna give it the full season because if I've learned anything from Agents of Shield, midway through the season things could just get turned on their head and become really good. So I'll stick out for the full season and see what it's like. But right now I would just say it's okay.
I just look at it as a setup. The whole season's a setup. Maybe they'll change halfway through, but right now I just feel like they're just trying to set the tone, set
Right.
the characters,
Right.
But the guy who plays Cobblepot, I think, is pretty fantastic.
Oh yeah, I think he does a really good job.
The
I
girl who
really
plays
like
Selena Kyle, I think, is really good.
see I like her. I like the way she's acting, but I don't know that I like the character. Like I don't know. I kind of have this problem with everybody being connected. I, I don't know. It just seems weird to me. Like, I don't so many of the different things they threw in there. Like I get the penguin being there because the penguin's kind of in the end the penguin's going to be a crime boss. Like that's just what he becomes. So I expect him to be there. But like Pamela Isley was shown in the house of the guy they framed for the Wayne murders, and she
Yes.
that I don't know. I just don't like that. Doesn't seem to need to be there. And the whole thing with Catwoman seeing Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed, that doesn't like how do you it kind of ruins this mystique of or kind of forces you to have this suspension of disbelief that in the future when Selena Kyle does become Catwoman and Bruce Wayne does become Batman, she doesn't realize that that's him. I mean, she's been following and watching, like, sees all this stuff, and you don't make this connection. Are you really that dumb? And I mean, it's just, I don't know. It almost seems like they're trying to force things into this that the end result. It'd be like saying, "Hey, we're gonna do this Titanic movie, except we're gonna put a twist in it. The boat's not gonna go down."
Yeah. I I'm looking at it more as there's one good guy right now, and
Yeah,
that's Jim Gordon.
right.
And there's a few characters that we know end up being bad that aren't yet.
Right.
And I think the setup is going to be they're all going to feel let down by Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
Including Bruce Wayne, who instead of going bad decides, I'm just going to take it into my own hands. And to me, I think that's where they're trying to go.
Yeah.
So maybe tying it all together is the only way they could see to do it. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it could be. You could be right. It just, I don't know. I think I'm looking at it, and maybe that's my problem, is I'm seeing it from I know the end. I know where it's going to get to because I am so familiar with Batman and where he's at in the comic books and where he's been at in the comic books. Maybe that's my problem. Where when I watch the Arrow, I don't have that because I don't actually know what the hell he does in the comic books right now. So maybe that is my problem. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's not a problem. Maybe I'm just wrong. I guess we'll find out at the end of the season.
We'll find out. So, all right, everybody, we'll close this out now. Thanks for listening. You can check us out on our blog at geekvice.blogspot.com. You can follow us on Twitter at geekvice, Google Plus, Facebook. Just search for Geek Vice. You'll find us. Like our page on Facebook. We're trying to get 100 likes. We're at 69 right now. So we need a few more people to get to 100. You can follow Kip on Twitter at Kip Killigan. And you cannot follow me on Twitter. Not yet.
Well, he's at Geek Vice. He's going to be taking that over. So don't let him get you. Don't let him make you think he's not on there.
Yeah, I'm slowly in the process of doing that, one thing at a time. We're revamping some things on here, as you probably noticed from the openings. We're changing some things up, trying to, I don't know, make this a little bit better. So if you've got any comments, you've got any questions, you've got things you want us to do differently, or just that we just got completely wrong and you want to come yell at us, you can email us at geekvice.com. Whoa, that's not an email address. Email us at geekvice@gmail.com. How about that one?
That'll work.
So thanks, everybody, for listening to our ramblings. Kip, you got anything?
I want you guys to go watch The Return and send me an email. Tell me what you think it was all about.
There you go. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week for episode 52. See ya.